In today's video, I'm going to show you a fun way to age die cuts, but not these. These quail are so cute. I love them so much. I'll show you those at another time. But I have this beautiful gourd and leaf set of lovely layers, and there's another one with mushrooms that you know I'm going to do a video on. But today, we're going to focus on this set. And we are going to make this super, super colorful. And then we're going to back it down a notch. Simmer down now. So first I'm starting with some Distress Oxide inks just on my mat, my glass mat that I love. I have a coupon for these in the comments. And I'm just putting water on those and then picking up the color with the little die cuts. Now these are very bright, happy. You could absolutely stick these on a cute, clean and simple card. But I'm going to make a more vintage, aged looking fall card that's sort of out of my normal style because the Lovely Layers dies have all of this debossed detail that I want to show you a fun way to highlight. So first, when I'm covering this with the ink, you can't really see those details. And that's where the aging process comes in. Who knew aging was good? Nobody told us that. So over on the right, I have the blue Distress Oxide, but it doesn't bead up on glass. So if you want the little dots that I'm getting here, you'll need to put the ink onto a craft sheet instead. So it's just two different looks. You can see the colors in the background are very smooth. And then the blue adds these little dots of intrigue, I like to call them. Completely made that up. And it's just a nice contrast in these beautiful, colorful little elements. So now I'm using an Olo marker to color the stems for several of the gourds. This is just a dark brown marker. It's easy to color these little guys. So just color them, make sure the edges are colored so there's not like a little white edge peeking out. And then we will assemble these and then get to aging. So I will put these together. You'll see which stem goes on which one. I'm using my precision glue press. The best thing since sliced bread for little tiny die cuts like this. With my old eyes and my old hands, I am so glad I have this and that I never have to cap my glue. Still a year and counting, I have not capped my glue using this glue press. I love the little curly stem on that one gourd. So cute. This one kind of looks like a bird. Looks like a little flamingo. What if I made a flamingo out of that? I shouldn't have told you that. I should have made it a surprise. But it totally looks like a flamingo. I'm going to give this little sucker some legs in another video. And we're going to make some birds. Or I could use the huge legs from the quail. I could make some kind of crazy Halloween bird. I'm getting distracted. Sorry. Back to coloring die cuts. Now, you saw me bringing my phone over on the left. That's because I listen to true crime podcasts while I'm making my videos. So I always have to cut out the sound and then start over and do my voiceover so that you're not hearing my true crime podcasts, although they're all great. You can check those out on Patreon. I have my curated true crime podcast list over there. I also listen to food podcasts. I'm not a complete monster. So, and some funny British podcasts that are like Britcoms, but they're on a podcast. I have a wide variety of things, but mostly it's true crime while I'm making my videos. Sometimes I can remember when I look at a card what true crime podcast I was listening to at the time. Anyway, now I'm coloring the stems of the leaves. These are beautiful little leaves. If you just wanted to cut out a bunch of the leaves, you could make a stunning card. So here I'm hem-hawing a little bit. I have this beautiful Lovely Layers frame that I've cut out a black cardstock and added some gold to. And I thought that maybe I would put the gourds on that, but then when I just sat the quail over there, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a quail family portrait. It's so cute. Anyway, so what I'm doing is just using my finger and some vintage photo Distress ink, not Distress Oxide, because you need the transparency here. And what you'll notice right away is all those little deboss details show up. So on the pumpkin, you couldn't really see them. And now look, you can see all of those little lines. Very fun. Super, super fun. And easy because it uses a tool that's already attached to your arm, which is kind of my favorite. So travels well. So you've always got it with you. So I'll just continue and you'll see all the detail on these leaves pop out. So if you couldn't see them on the dies themselves, you're going to notice how detailed and beautiful these are just with a little simple ink application, but we're still not done. You'll also notice how this just tones down those colors, kind of warms it up for fall in a really interesting way. So you're still getting the benefit of all of that color, but you're also getting that warm fall, kind of more serious feeling where the unvintaged leaves were like party leaves. And these are like very serious fall leaves, but still colorful. So that's their personality type. Now I'm using this tiny little blending brush from Honeybee to also add shading to the edge of these because these are such beautiful rounded shapes. It's really fun to enhance that 3D look with just a little shading. This is actually one of the earliest stamping techniques I ever learned. We used to do it by just dragging it on the ink pad like animals because we didn't have these nice blending brushes. And then later we got sponges and we thought we were royalty. And now it's very easy with this brush and it doesn't look like a howler monkey did it, which that's a nice evolution in crafting. So I will finish these up. You will see that I'm kind of pulling from that little pool of ink that accumulates on my glass mat. This is an easy way to move ink onto the edge of a very small die cut because these are pretty small. So you can actually use that excess ink that's being generated by your sponging to gently pull the ink onto the edges and not just cover up the whole thing. So you still have that color peeking out, which is very fun. It almost looks like there are stamp images underneath this aging because of the way the color was laid down. It's really a cool look. And it looks like you spent a ton of time on it, but you didn't, which is kind of my favorite. I mean, I'm not saying it's cheating or anything. I'm just saying you don't have to spend 5 hours making these beautiful, colorful, interesting, textured little elements for your card. So here's what the finished project looks like. Look for some adorable quail on my blog and some mushrooms in the future. Thanks so much for watching.